Welcome to Madison. We've got the Radicals versus the AlleyCats tonight. Radicals are 8-3. They'll be starting off with the disc. AlleyCats are out in man defense. And Alexander with the turnover, low throw to Scullion. AlleyCats get their first chance for a break. No mark currently. Hammer just over the head of the receiver. And the Radicals will get it back. We'll see man defense again and a horizontal stack. Wriggles initiates and gets the upfield cut to the middle. Thibodeau looking for somebody. Finds Brown on the sideline. Upline to Scullion. He's got power position, but no upfield cut. Looking for something. Throws a disc to space into the end zone, but a stall is called, so it'll be a turnover. Forward with a high release throw that Wriggles collects. Turnover. And the Radicals get their third chance at this point. Wiseman up to Alexander. That's a Scullion, who centers the disc to Wiseman. Annan with a fake or two. Over to Wiseman, to Brown. Brown to Wiseman. And a nice easy dish to Alexander for the score. The Radicals lead 1-0. So Brown makes the big pull with the Radicals leading 1-0. AlleyCats will get their first look. It's going to be against a zone defense. They're having no trouble getting the players to move. But the thrower throws into Reef, who gets a layout D. And the Radicals are about 10 yards outside the end zone. The conditions outside are really pleasant tonight. 75 degrees, high humidity, and it rained a lot earlier today. So the ground should be soft. There's no wind either, so all of these throws should be pinpoint with very few opportunities for the defense. Reef throws to the back of the end zone. Weber comes down with a disc in the back of the end zone and toes the line. Radicals up 2-0.
Is that your spot? Do you like it?
The Radicals have come out to an early 2-0 lead. Let's see if the AlleyCats can respond. It's a horizontal stack and man defense from the Radicals. Brock has the disc now. Stuck on the sideline, not finding much. And the low throw results in a turnover. The Radicals will get a chance to extend their lead. 5 players go out into a horizontal stack, and now they pull out a third person to handle. Rohowitz collects the disc. Throws up to Alexander. There are no cutters deep. So Alexander throws a big huck to Swain. Swain goes up and grabs the disc for another score. That's 3-0. Petit Scantling with the pull. The Radicals lead 3-0. Not much pressure on the downfield cutters so far. They get 2 quick undercuts. AlleyCats are moving pretty effectively with these undercuts, but now he's in trouble. He doesn't have anywhere to throw the disc, and a stall occurs. The Radicals showing good defense. So the Radicals will be penalized 10 yards because it was actually a stall, not a turnover. Coolidge did not recognize in time. So the Radicals are also happy to work it with underthrows. Lots of easy 10-yard throws. Petit Scantling now with the disc. Rowitz is in the middle, but no one looks to him. Coolidge over to Swain, about 10 yards outside the end zone, looking for a reset. Can't find anybody. And a stall is called. Swain could not find any downfield receivers. And the 7-second stall clock is really getting to the players. That's at least the third stall this game. The big huck goes up. Swain's trying to make up ground. Brock goes up, comes down with the disc, and the AlleyCats are on the board. Score is 3-1. Carlton with the pull. The Radicals are leading 3-1. Scullion will center the disc up to Annan, and they will come out in a vertical stack, but they're going against a zone, so it's not going to be particularly effective. Well, I guess it's not a zone. They're back into man already, so it was probably just trying to hold the lanes with their handler throwers. Brown comes down with the disc. Still just 10 yards outside his own end zone. Riggles is kind of clogging the area. And a pick is called. It should be a 10-yard penalty. And play will resume from there. Big huck up to Alexander. The huck is a little bit short, and it gets D'd. Kari will pick up the disc. And not sure what kind of stack, presumably a horizontal stack. Regardless, the throw is low and it's a turnover, and Annan will pick up the disc at midfield. Centers it to Brown and to Scullion. Across to Thibodeau. And now a backhand is called, backhand force. Scully moves it up to Wiseman. Throws a bandit throw to Alexander. Alexander to Annan. AlleyCats can't figure out what the force is right now. And Riggles with a skinny break to Alexander in the end zone. That's a score, and the Radicals lead 4-1. So Brown will with the pull, and the Radicals come out in zone. It's really no wind, and with no wind and a large field, the offense really should have the advantage here. But again, a quick turn between handlers results in a turnover, and the Radicals are on the doorstep. A high release backhand from Wilson to Weber results in another score. The Radicals extend their lead 5-1. I don't know. Brown with another pull. Lands 5 yards outside the end zone. And again, they set their zone. The blade along the sideline results in a gain of 30 yards. The AlleyCats are moving. The AlleyCats are happy to take high percentage throws with very convincing fakes, trying to get the defenders to move out of their positions. The AlleyCats are really coming in close, however. They're not spreading the field. They're not taking advantage of the 53 yards. And that's resulting in a kind of a stagnant disc, not finding much movement. Hammer across field is collected, and the Radicals are moving to man defense. There seems to be a lot of confusion, however, and the AlleyCats are able to push it in for the score. They cut the lead down to 5-2. So the Radicals O-line is back on the field, working the unders with much success. Wiseman doesn't put enough float on that throw, and it blades into the ground, resulting in a turnover. Big huck goes up. Wriggles is there. Working in a horizontal stack with Coolidge as the primary. But none of the cutters are open at the right moments. Finally, they get an upfield throw. Coolidge is the disc. Wiseman with the downfield cutter. Coolidge looks to reset, gets it to Scullion. Moves it up to Wiseman. Annan with a juke cut on the line, just about half midfield. Resets to Wiseman, who throws it across to Brown. Brown fakes a big huck. Pulls the defender, and Alexander gets a wide open break side upfield cut. Moves it over to Wriggles with an inside break to Annan, who's just outside the end zone. Throws a lefty flick to open space, and Alexander is in for the score. That is 6-2 with the Radicals on top.
From the sidelines, guys. You've been doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Help them. Hey, guys, help them.
So the Radicals are up 6-2. There's about just over a minute left in the first quarter. And they're in a soft man defense. Little pressure on the unders and the handlers. See if the AlleyCats can exploit this. Lots of movement between the handlers. Now they get up to a cutter who gets it around to the break side. The AlleyCats are past midfield. Big flick goes up to space. But the Radicals sprint faster to the end zone and come down with the D. Brown with the disc and moves it up to Meshnik. Back to Brown. To Rohowitz, who tips the disc up into the air, and Petit Scantling comes down with the layout grab. And immediately a timeout is called. And the Radicals will have 20 seconds to score. So the Radicals will come out of the timeout. Looks like they're going to be in a vertical stack. I expect to see some sort of isolation play from them. Because it's a timeout, both teams can exchange players, put whoever they want in. And with 21 seconds left, it might be advantageous to put in some tall players for the inevitable huck. So Wiseman gets the disc, throws it up to Scullion, who comes down with the throw. Little bobble, wants a call, but nothing is called. Gets it upfield to Wriggles, who throws another inside break up to Wiseman, who tiptoes over the defender for the catch, and the Radicals are going to extend the lead to 7-2. So the Radicals pull the disc, and they have one person going downfield, and the AlleyCats do not make any attempt with the 0.2 seconds. So we'll go into the second quarter with the score at 7-2. So here we go. We're off into the second half. The Radicals lead 7-2. And they're coming down on defense, and it looks like a zone. So let's see if the AlleyCats can figure out what appears to be a stifling zone. The AlleyCats have yet to convert against this zone. Crossfield hammer Not for any yards, but gets the defense to move. They find an opening down the middle. And now you would think they'd be off to the races, but they're all jumping towards the disc. They've left one cutter downfield. That's Brock. They can't get it to him, and so they're back in the teeth of the zone. There's generally several strategies to defeat this zone. Blades along the sideline have been effective in past games, as well as short throws to handlers for a few yards at a time. The AlleyCats are not really doing either of those. They're playing more of a traditional zone offense. So they finally pass midfield. Clue with the disc, resets it to handlers. And finally, a throw goes by the cutter or the handler, and it results in a turnover. Radicals with the disc. That's Brown up to Weber. Up to Nelson. Nelson throws to the end zone. Weiss is there. He's going to come down with the grab. The Radicals lead 8-2. So with that long zone point, Wiseman will come in on the D-line and immediately pulls it out of bounds. Both the central cutters make the undercut and are looked off despite being relatively open. A throw cross field results in another turnover. The Radicals are looking to extend their lead. Alexander up to Wiseman. Wiseman finds an around to Coolidge, who continues it to Alexander. Alexander back to Wiseman to keep the movement going. And now up to Coolidge, about 10 yards outside the end zone. Wiseman with a juke move, and Coolidge throws to space, finds Wiseman. Wiseman up to Meshnick for the score. Score is 9-2.
Here we go, Radicals. Here we go, Radicals.
So the Radicals lead 9-2. The AlleyCats just called a timeout to try and collect themselves and come up with a strategy that's going to defeat this zone. Currently, they have 4 players very close to this far side of the field. And a big huck goes up. Wilson needs to get back into position. A whistle is called. Looks like there might be a foul. And it is going to be a foul on the defense, which will give the AlleyCats the disc right on the end zone. In fact, it should be a 10-yard penalty, but there's no yardage, so they'll center the disc. The AlleyCats were working on their end zone offense right before the game. We'll see if they can find an isolated player, come in for the score. The inside break goes off, and another one. And the AlleyCats come down with the score. Working it and finding a forced side cut, and they're in. The Radicals are lead 9-3. So Carpenter with a big pull. Annan starts with the disc and moves it to Brown for a couple of yards. And a horizontal stack. Moves it up to Coolidge, who misses Thibodeau. And the AlleyCats will get their chance at a break. And there it is. AlleyCats with a little A little momentum swing here. They close the lead. The Radicals are only up 9-4 now. So AlleyCats have scored the last 2 points. Let's see if they can extend it. Big huck is threatened. And now it goes off, but there's nobody downfield. Swain's chasing, but it's just too far. The Radicals come out in man defense, forcing backhand. Inside backhand throw, moves it out of their end zone. And another low backhand throw results in a turnover. Annan quickly picks up, throws to the end zone, and Scullion trots in for the score. The Radicals up 10-4. So Wiseman with the pull. Low pressure on the first couple throws. And the AlleyCats are already 30 yards upfield. Petit Scantling with a bid, a poach bid, but can't come down with the disc. And the AlleyCats are now at midfield. Meshnik with a bid, but the disc was well placed, so no D could be made. Plu now with the disc. Upfield to Brock. He's on the goal line. Finds a break throw backhand into the end zone for the score. And the AlleyCats put their 5th score on the board. So we've got a short pull here. The disc looks like it's going to be floating back towards the AlleyCats. And it'll land right around midfield. We're just past halfway in the second quarter. Annan with lots of big fakes and finds an upfield throw to Alexander, who moves it to Wilson immediately. Wilson finds Annan. Floats it over to Wilson. Cutters are a little bit shallow. They find Alexander on a big swing throw. Moves it over to Weiss. And Wriggles throws to the end zone, but floats a little bit, and the AlleyCats are able to get under the disc and get the D. Downfield cutters are trying to be very active, but the handlers aren't even looking at them. Carpenter with the disc, throws a big huck out to space. The disc is floating. And Payne's going to come down with another score. The Radicals lead 10-6.
Members of our own Madison Heights, the best women's ultimate team you'll ever see, and they will be holding a short exhibition against Chicago Madison.
So the Radicals will get the disc, and they are up 10-6. Find a break throw up to Coolidge. Looking to work the backhand side, and now they've switched forces to forehand. It's not clear where they're forcing. Oh, a big double team attempt, but Annan gets it above the incoming defender. Big huck goes up, it's floating, that's Wiseman with the disc to Swain, but Carpenter gets up and gets the D. Meshnik with a big bid. Could not connect with the disc, however. Big huck goes up, down the sideline. Carpenter is there. Swain with a big bid over the shoulder. Gets the D. That's a highlight. So Radicals will get another chance to convert their offensive point. Wiseman gets it off the line to Scullion, who moves it to Coolidge. Some timely help defense from Dosenbach to prevent that upfield cut. Scullion throws a huck up out to space. Meshnik is under the disc. In between two defenders, he comes down with the disc and immediately calls time out. So the Radicals will have the disc just outside the end zone. Annan will begin with it. And they've isolated Coolidge, who can't juke his way open. So Annan moves it to Brown. To Annan, to Brown. Coolidge is still isolated. Can't find any space. However, the handlers are moving it back and forth at will. Brown finds Swain. And a tip, and he tips it up so he can come down with the grab. That's Brown. Brown with a throw and go to Wiseman. Now he's got the disc again. And a good poach from Dosenbach results in another set of swings. Hammer to the break field side, and Swain comes down with the disc in the end zone. And finding space, and the Radicals now lead 11-6. So the Radicals with the pull, they lead 11-6. There's a minute and a half remaining, and the Radicals are out in their zone. That last possession was a backbreaker. Let's see if the AlleyCats can hold their composure, because they played some very strong defense and were scored on nonetheless. This zone has been confounding them all game. However, they've been able to successfully move it down the sideline quite effectively. And now they've moved it offline. And they're around midfield. This zone is resulting in a lot of throws, eating up precious time. There are now 30 seconds left in the half. This could be an AlleyCats strategy, essentially running down the equivalent of a shot clock before making attempts to score. There are less than 10 seconds left now, and they're still not moving it quickly. There are 5 seconds left. Here it goes, and up into the end zone. And Plu comes down with the score. It'll count, and time has expired. So we'll go into half at 11-7. The game, it is 11-7. The Radicals have the lead, and they're starting out on offense. Alexander had an option to go deep there, chose not to take it. Now Thibodeau has the disc. Looks off a cut and reset to Scullion, who bobbled the disc. He's getting isolated in the end zone. Big huck, big bid, but he can't come down with the disc. That's forward with the layout attempt. And the Radicals will get the second chance. Annan up to Thibodeau. Sends it across to Alexander. Lots of cutters pushing upfield. Annan looks off the deep throw. Finds a wrap to Scullion and around to Brown. After a flurry of quick movement, The teams have settled down. And now Thibodeau with the huck to space, but Brown can't get there in time, and Carpenter comes down with the D.
Let's go, Tickles! Radical fans, get up! Let's go! Keep running, guys.
Big huck goes up. Wiseman's got the inside track on that and comes down with the disc in the end zone. So the Radicals will get a third attempt at a score. Moves it upfield to Scullion, who's unmarked. Now the mark comes down and closes. Thibodeau with a nicely timed set of steps and resets to Annan. Annan finds Brown, who throws a big huck to Coolidge. There's help on the backside. And that's Dawsonbach with another help D. A huck goes up. That's Payne coming down with the disc. He's been all over the place tonight. And he throws to a break throw into the end zone for the score. And the AlleyCats get the first goal out of half. They close the lead to 11-8. So Carpenter with the big pull to the corner of the end zone. Wiseman centers it to Annan. And Schreiweiss is completely unguarded, gets the first undercut, moves it up to Wilson, who finds a nice around to Wiseman. Wiseman throws it to space to the end zone. Riggles is tracking, and he comes down with the disc. That is called a goal. 12-8, the Radicals lead. The crowd loves it. Even the AlleyCats love it. They're applauding that play. So with that great layout score by Scott Riggles, the Radicals have a 12-8 lead. And they're coming out in their zone, which frustrated the AlleyCats in the first half. It seems like they may have made several adjustments because they're finding open spots. A hammer to midfield and then a laser to the end zone is going to result in a quick score for the AlleyCats. The score is 12-9. So Carlton with the pull. The Radicals are leading 12-9, and there are 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Coolidge has some steps deep, but is not thrown to. Instead, the handlers move it. And Annan throws to space, and Coolidge runs it down. Annan with a juke move, looked off, and a stall is called. Coolidge did not get that throw off in time. The Radicals come out in man defense. Coolidge with a bid attempt, but does not come up with the D. Oh, and the AlleyCats are taking some risky throws. Here's another hammer to the break side space. It's an overthrow, however, and the Radicals will get another chance to convert. Wiseman with a quick backhand throw. Draws some contact, but it is not called. He wanted a foul. The AlleyCats throw a high release, cheeky backhand throw over the double team for the score. And they've closed the lead down to 12-10. That's Ford with the pull. The Radicals' lead is 12-10. Centered to Annan. Finds Schreiweiss immediately and reset back to Annan. It's a horizontal stack. Schreiweiss is working hard. Gets 5 yards. Throws a dish pass And if the Radicals get this point, it's going to be with their legs. An immediate double team finds a backhand throw between the defenders. And Nelson throws a little behind Weiss' cut, results in a turnover. Ford picks up the disc, and they're off to the races. There is nobody covering the deep shot. And Swain catching up and draws contact after the initial attempt. The Radical sideline is calling for the integrity rule. We'll see if it's given. He thinks that he had an attempt at the second bid for the floating disc, so the AlleyCats will keep possession. And a laser into the end zone cannot be collected, and the Radicals will get another shot. Immediately offline to Nelson. Nelson finds a backhand to Weiss. Wriggles, looked off, and now gets the undercut. Swain's sprinting deep, and now with a juke move under. And now he's completely uncovered, so he gets the undercut. A little bit clustered. All the players are on the far side of the field. Now Annan moves it to Wriggles. Wriggles has been throwing breaks all day, but chooses to reset it anyways. Throws it across to Wilson. And still, there's a timeout called from the sidelines. The Radicals will look to convert. They lead 12-10, and there's just under 5 minutes remaining in the quarter. So the Radicals will start out with the disc out of the timeout. They've changed several players, but that was their primary O-line. So many of the players are still out there. Annan's making a move deep. Is well covered. A floaty pass across field. Wiseman uses his height to get up, get the disc. He moves it up to Brown. Brown throws to space. Alexander tracking, but it's just out of reach.
Tom, no unders. You got him deep, no unders. Run now. Start moving now. Yes, Tom, yes.
A push pass
Yes, Tom.
to reset the stall counts.
Help, you ready to help, Tom? No unders, Tom, no unders. Come on, Tom. Don't you worry your copy.
Double team initiated around stall 4 or 5 by Scullion. The AlleyCats are having trouble finding any upfield throws. Finally, an upfield throw to Carpenter, immediately reset. And again, no upfield cut is found to be open. Now with some break side movement, and Maynard's got it around midfield. The AlleyCats are working real hard. Radicals wanted to travel there, but he kept his off-foot pivot foot down. The big huck goes up to space, and Meshnik may have gotten a touch, but didn't affect the flight of the disc. And the AlleyCats have scored and closed it down to 1 point. So a big 360-degree turn pull, resulting in a double helix. No, it's actually fading out of bounds, right around 30 yards. Brown will start with the disc, and the Radicals are coming out in a vertical defense. The AlleyCats have been trained, it looks like, to guard the deepest cutter under and the closest cutter deep. Weiss throws out to the end zone. Wriggles sprinting into the end zone. No one's going to catch him. He's in for the score. And the Radicals increase their lead to 2. It's 13-11. So the Radicals are coming in on defense. They're up 13-11, looking to get a break and extend their lead. Brown with a kind of a baiting set of defense. And the Radicals' man defense results in a turnover. AlleyCats couldn't connect on the break side throw. Wilson picks up the disc. Meshnik going deep. Throw is just out of reach. And the AlleyCats will get a second attempt. The low throw is caught, and a huck goes up to Brock. Kevin Brown gets the D and is complimented by Brock. Radicals will get a second chance at their break. Meshnik with a layout grab to save possession of the disc. Resets to Wilson. A timeout is called by the Radicals sideline. There's just over a minute remaining in the third quarter.
Let's go!
The Radicals have the disc. Wiseman and is in. Finds Freiweiss immediately with a push pass to Annan. Annan unleashes a huck to Coolidge, who runs it down for the score. Right off the bat, the Radicals increase their lead. They're up 14-11. So Radicals are up 14-11. They've pulled it, but it's out of bounds. Subsided in the evening, and now it's threatening again. Meanwhile, the AlleyCats are threatening to score near the end of the third quarter. Just got under a minute to remaining. Radicals are in their zone. A blade to Brock is cocked, and there's nobody back, so it'll result in a score, and the score is now 14-12, 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. .40 seconds, and the clock is ticking. The AlleyCats come out in a zone, and it results in a really quick turnover. They're on the doorstep, and a layout grab could not be made. The Radicals get another chance. 20 seconds remaining. It's really blustery outside right now, so the disc should be going all over the place. 10 seconds remains. Annan blades it to Thibodeau, who launches it into the end zone. Wiseman's there, but the disc takes a downturn in the wind, and the end of the third quarter has been reached. The Radicals lead 14-12. Welcome back. It's 12-14. The Radicals lead. We've missed about 20 seconds of the first point in the fourth quarter. As you can tell, it's very windy. We've had to move our camera equipment inside. A nice layout grab. That's Kryza. And he gets it in for the score. The AlleyCats are within one. It's 14-13. So the AlleyCats with a pull, they're within one. They're looking to get a break and tie this game up. It's getting a little bit slippery, a little bit blustery out there. You could see that Wiseman tripped on his initial cut. And with a huck to the end zone, it's blading. And Coolidge comes down with the disc. He's not in the end zone. He finds Wiseman, who finds Scullion, and he's in for the score, and the Radicals extend their lead to 2. So the Radicals are up 2, 15-13. Start off with a low pull. and they come out in a zone. I expect the zone to be much more effective now. And on the second throw, the AlleyCats turn the disc over, and the Radicals will get a chance to increase their lead to 3. Nelson picks up the disc, finds an inside-out break throw to Reef, resets to Nelson. Throw and go to Reef, to Wriggles, and the Radicals put another on the board. The rain is coming down pretty strongly now. The Radicals have shifted to a high-risk, high-reward strategy, and it's been paying off so far. AlleyCats are at midfield. And are finding short throws to get through the zone. It's Plu. Finds Brock. Back to Plu. And the AlleyCats are being very patient, finding open hands, and not finding any continuation throw. That's Cox calling the timeout. So AlleyCats are in, immediately double teamed. Scott Wriggles got a piece of that, but couldn't prevent the completion. And now the incompletion occurs. Rain is really coming down now. There's a flash flood warning in effect. But in some senses, this is the most fun kind of weather to play Ultimate in. It looks like there's a shower going on outside, and it looks like the AlleyCats are in for the score. Looks like there is an offsides or a delay of game called. It's going to result in a yardage penalty. It's not clear what is going on, but Brown is walking to midfield and is going to start with the disc there. It's slippery out there. The first pass results in a turnover. The AlleyCats are resorting to hucking it into the end zone. There are two of them there, but neither of them can come down with the disc. You can tell that the weather is really playing a big factor here. So there are 8 minutes left in regulation. Wiseman gets a huck off. I believe that is Scullion with, and now they're doing a give and go. Annan has the disc about 5 yards outside the end zone. He throws a dish pass, but it's dropped by a Radicals player. A double team is set, and the AlleyCats are looking to just throw this out. There's some sort of call. I guess it looks like another timeout has been called by the AlleyCats. So the AlleyCats will check it back in. It looks like the Radicals are in a zone. The AlleyCats elect to punt the disc with a blade at a high stall count. It probably was a good idea. Wriggles collects the disc and moves it upfield to Reef. Reef throws it upfield. The cutter slipped, and the AlleyCats will get it back. They work it one throw upfield, about 10 yards, and launches a huck to the crossfield side. There are 4 players there, but nobody's taller than Wriggles. Wriggles comes down with the D. Throws a crossfield throw. Nelson with the disc. Finds Schlitzky wide open. Schlitzky back to Nelson. A blade from Weiss to Nelson. They're on the doorstep. Nelson throws a hammer crossfield, and it is caught Layout grab by a Radicals player. Not sure who that is. At any rate, they extend their lead to 17-14. There's 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Wiseman with the pull. Radicals lead by 3. Coming out in a zone. Last point, the Radicals were able to work the disc. With all this rain, it doesn't, perhaps it's actually less blustery out now and just a consistent downpour. AlleyCats turn it over. And now Wriggles has the disc around midfield. A big huck goes up. AlleyCats player is there, but Weber with the layout grab. That's an incredible play. So the Radicals pull. We're about halfway through the fourth quarter. It's 18-14, and the Radicals have recently been increasing their lead. The weather has really been helpful for the Radicals. The AlleyCats had figured out the zone, but now it's become a challenge again due to weather. So it looks like an offensive foul. And so it's a 10-yard penalty, but it's not a turnover as it was getting close to the end of the stall count. And an errant blade finds Brown of the Radicals, and the Radicals are looking to score again. Weiss to Brown. Brown with a big huck attempt, but it's completely hand blocked.
I don't know if that was a hand block. Somebody just went out of his hand and hit the other guys. Brown did that earlier.
And now a blade huck goes to the end zone, and Nelson's going to get the D there. Radicals will get the disc again. Up to Petit Scanling, who bobbles it up into the air and comes down with it. Up to Weiss, and Weiss unleashes a huck. Meshnik is under the disc, tips it, lays out over the AlleyCats player, and that looks like an injury. The game is going to be suspended due to lightning in this storm. There are just under 5 minutes left. The Radicals are leaving 18-14. So we're back after a rain delay. The Madison Radicals have 18. The AlleyCats have 14. And the AlleyCats are working against the Radicals zone. The weather conditions have calmed down a lot. No more rain. No wind to speak of. And as we saw, the AlleyCats had figured out this zone. They adjusted. And there's a hammer to midfield. And the disc goes in for the score. The referees are saying that the foul occurred before the throw, and so the disc will have to go back, and instead the Indianapolis AlleyCats will gain 10 yards. Throw and go is immediately looked off by the handler who threw it, and the AlleyCats are now on the far break side. Petit Scantling slips, and a throw to space to the break side goes in for a score, and the AlleyCats have cut the lead to 3. 3 minutes remaining. So Radicals collect the pole. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain. The AlleyCats are playing soft man defense. You would hope that they would be putting on a little more pressure. Alexander fakes a backhand hook and resets it to the middle. The Radicals are happy to just work the disc. 100% throws. Scullion has the disc. Lots of 5-yard passes. Thibodeau throws it to space, and Kelson makes a talented grab in the end zone. The Radicals lead 19-15. So Wilson with the pull. It's a little bit low and short. And the Radicals come out in man defense. Wriggles with a great layout D there. Baiting the throw a little bit and just accelerating, exploding to the disc. Wilson wants a foul there. He's not going to get it. AlleyCats will get another chance to put in the score. Flew with the disc. Finds a reset. Hammer to the back, break side corner. And Brock comes down with it. He's completed it. Is he in? The referees have determined that it is a score. So Brock made the grab, had his feet in, and there may have been some contact as well. But the result is a point, and the AlleyCats are now within 19-16. So the Radicals are up 3 with a minute and a half remaining. The AlleyCats really ought to be pressing as much as possible. Brown fakes the big huck and finds Scullion for the reset. To Wiseman. And they really only have one cutter downfield. That's Alexander. Now there are more cutters pushing upfield. Scullion with some juke moves to get open, but Annan finds Weiss instead. Annan fights Alexander, who dishes it to Brown. Double team is put in place, and Brown throws a blade to Alexander. And now back to Annan and around to Brown. This is really it. Wow, that's a great defensive block. It looks like there was contact drawn on the throw, and Scullion will walk it up 10 yards and put the disc back into play. It's really a practice of just completing passes, not even pressuring upfield. Ten seconds remain, and the Radicals will take this out to victory. Weiss makes a great grab in the back of the end zone to cement the victory. It's 20-16. So with Petit Scantling's pull, this will conclude the game. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. It's a little 500 game between all the Radicals, but nobody can come down with the disc. That'll wrap it up. I'm Jeremy Weiss, camerawoman Mei-Lien. Thanks to our officials for doing a great job. And thanks for tuning in. Final is 20-16. Have a good night.